Oh my god, a take from an enlightened centrist. Oh my god, shut up, please. I'm not a centrist. I gotta state this in the beginning of the video because I know a lot of people are gonna call me a centrist for pointing out very objective facts. I don't think both sides are equal. I don't think, both of these sides are equally as bad. I don't think that. I think the right is significantly worse by leaps and bounds. I'd phrase it as I feel about spaghetti and ramen. I think both are very wildly different pasta dishes. The left is definitely ramen. I can eat it any day of the week. It's pretty cool. The right is spaghetti. I don't like spaghetti that much, but if it's for dinner, I might eat it. I definitely will throw out spaghetti leftovers. That's the horrible comparison. I have no other way to compare that. That's what I got right now. Maybe fruits and vegetables. The left is fruits and then the right is vegetables. No, vegetables are good for you. You know, this is a hard comparison. Hard comparison. Both extremes are exhausting in completely different ways. Pointing that out does not magically turn someone into an enlightened centrist floating above reality as if I'm a monk on a mountain. Oh, I'm better than all of you guys. I'm better than the drivel of you fighting against. That's not true. That's not even close to true. I'm not better than you guys. Not by any stretch of the word. That's not true. You know what happened? Republicans elected a mega predator. Full stop. I don't even know. You guys put Donald Trump in office. You guys put John Trump. That's his middle name. John Trump. You put John Trump in office. And that's what it is. And let's point out the real fact here. Republican movement has a long, ugly history of picking a new enemy every time the old one becomes socially indefensible. That's just what happens. Moving from black people to gay people to trans people to immigrants. It just keeps going up the ladder to the next thing. To anyone who does not fit a shrinking definition of acceptable humanity, which for the most part is going to be white. Just want to point, it's going to be white or a reasonable black with his haircut. That's really what it's going to be. Saying that out loud is not me saying, oh, well, that's over that. No, it's historical theater. It's historical theater. Like, it's historical theater over and over again. It's theater where I have literacy. That's what's happening. Human rights to me are not negotiable. They are not a debate club topic. That doesn't exist. Anyone pretending otherwise is already telling you who they are. If you're curious about how I feel about things, so I'm gonna be pissed for a second. Shut the hell up calling me a centrist. Calling me a centrist because I don't negotiate human rights. I don't do that. I don't negotiate human rights. I want to point that out. I sit mostly on the left with a couple, and I mean a couple, of right-leaning views on guns and taxes. Because guess what? I like guns. Boom, whip, big whoop-de-doo. I love guns. And I live in a state where I'm kind of in a higher tax bracket, so I don't really want to play that more taxes. I would appreciate a tax break. That's where I'm at in life, right? That should be an incredibly normal sentence in a healthy society. That should be normal. That should be a normal thing where you have mostly views on this, but you have a few views somewhere else. That's really how humans operate. I have a friend who likes pineapples on pizza, right? Right. And I know I'm not comparing human rights to pineapples on pizza. Don't even get that thought in your brain. Don't even miscorrect me. I know a lot of you guys are autistic watching this video. You're gonna piss me off. I'm gonna punch you in the throat. In Grand Theft Auto, YouTube, don't demonetize me, please. Oh, whatever. Who cares? Okay, I calm down. I calm down now. I calm down. I'm calm. I'm calm. So I'm just heated right now. I'm really heated. I care more about people more than I care about ideological purity. Is that a fair sentence to say? And that is exactly why I want to hear people explain their reasoning instead of writing them off as irredeemable monsters. I don't think every conservative or every Republican is an evil person. I'm not going to classify the one person as their entire group. I'm not going to do that. Everybody always looks at me and says, well, newsflash for you, buddy. The black community did. I'm not the black community. I'm not the black community. I'm not. I'm one guy. I'm not the entire black community. I'm black, but I'm not the whole community. That's what it is. I know how manipulation works. I know how propaganda works. I know how fear rewires a brain. I get it. And once you understand that, hating people becomes harder than hating ideas. Because ideas can be dismantled. They can be destroyed. People are usually just trying to survive inside a system that feeds them lies. That's people. That's how I feel about people. That's my entire thought process behind where I'm at in life. So if you think I'm some enlightened centrist, I'm not. I'm just a black guy trying to navigate, understand people, and not write everybody off as my enemy, because that's how we get nowhere in life. I don't think everyone's my enemy, but I do think extremists make this issue much more prevalent. So the right-wing extremists, the right-wing spaghetti. Right wing, right wing, right wing, right. Might is right. Right is right. The right-wing extremists are insane because they see entire groups of people as enemies by default, whether it be illegal, gay, black, not white, not Christian, not straight, not compliant, whatever it is. All of them gets flattened into a single threatening blur. That's the entire thought process of the right-wing extremist. These are the people that are extreme. Not every right-wing person, not all of them, just the most extreme of these people. You will see these people on Twitter, you'll see these people on Reddit, you'll see these people on online forums, on 4chan, on just any site you can possibly do. Instagram comments, commenting on a girl that looks very underage, and they're just saying, I wish you were my daughter, whole things like that. If you're my daughter, I'd be in jail, stuff like that. People like that, right-wing extremists in that variety. Their strength comes from collective hatred. All right, slogans: make America great again, might makes right, things of that variety. Tie up your bootstraps. A lot of sayings on that front. The left doesn't really have a lot of sayings. The right wing comes from a lot of sayings. That's how it works. That's how it operates. It's the us versus them, and from the fantasy that obedience and hard work will one day elevate them into the mythical 1%. 1%. 1%. This number, big number. It's taller than me. Much taller than me. That's a huge number, by goodness. But it's not. But here's the thing I've noticed on the right, and this is very interesting. When someone on the right strays, maybe they're going to the left a bit more, they get chastised for sure, 100%, but they don't get erased. They don't get completely erased. Their past doesn't get brought up indefinitely. As a matter of fact, their past is irrelevant. They turn over to Christ, they're immediately welcomed over. They say, well, God forgives me, so you should forgive me. And the right pretty much welcomes them with open arms, as long as they identify as Christian or not gay or not black. You know what I mean? If they're black but identify as not black, they get really accepted. It's super easy. And by identifying as not black, I mean chopping off your hair. I know it sounds crazy to say that. It sounds insane. It sounds psychotic to say that. But I genuinely mean that with my whole chest. The bond of shared resentment keeps the group intact. I promise you it does. Okay, so this is the part where people are going to comment and get pissed at me because I'm going to talk about left-wing extremism. So go ahead and just get ready for your comments. Get ready to put your hand on the keyboard or put your thumb on the typing. Go ahead, get ready. They're insane in a different way. It eats its own relentlessly. It's this constant purity test. It's you fail to boycott everything, support everything, post everything, speak perfectly at all times to turn into a villain in overnight. One bad take, one bad day, one poorly worded sentence. Doesn't even matter what it is. Well, actually, I said the N-word when I was 10 years old. You said the N-word and you're white, you get destroyed. It's insane. It's psychotic. It's really crazy. It's absolutely psychotic how that operates. That's just how it works. The Joker said it best. One bad day. Why am I using the Joker as an? That sounds so Reddit chud to say use Joker as that's such a horrible way. I guess it'd be the writer who wrote Joker, not Joker in himself, but still it would be Joker under the guise of Joker writing what you want to write on the. It would be that what it would be. But if you have one bad take, one bad anything, the mob descends upon you with moral certainty and this social annihilation. There is no grace, no context, no room for growth, only exile. That's what happens a lot of time with the left extremist. All right, and this is not. I'm gonna keep saying this. Everybody on the left. It is not everybody on the left. It is not this collective, every single leftist person. It is not. It's this particular exquisite insanity. It's an engine that consumes its own fuel, a purity spiral spinning in the void, generating its own gravity, which is the gravity of perpetual condemnation. It's sacrament. It's not this hatred of the outsider. Right? They're completely inverse. So while the right is going to hate the outsider, the gay, the black, whatever it may be, that's what it's going to do. The left hates the left. You're not a true leftist if you don't hate the left. I promise you, you are not. You are not a true leftist unless you hate them with your whole chest. Because there is going to be some white autistic pog, some white autistic girl that is going to say something that, let's say something along the lines of, guys, you shouldn't call ice fat because that's fat phobic and I'm fat. Or let's say a one-off trans person says a hard R, like a one-off trans person just says a hard R, and then that trans person weaponizes their identity as transphobia, and then when they're just being racist, that's also an example of that. Those are very one-off examples, by the way. Very, very, very one-off examples. Just wanted to point that out. I know a lot of people hate when I bring up one-off examples, but it's things that I've experienced and things that I've witnessed. It's heresy within the temple. It operates on the liturgy of flawless articulation, where a single syllable uttered in the wrong historical cadence just destroys everything. You have a single moment of being human, actually human, if you don't perfectly say, oh, I posted a black square and I support every Native American and I do this and I do that, and you can't make jokes. It's really what it is. You can't make jokes if it attacks somebody else. And I love making jokes that attack people because it's funny. I don't know. You can make jokes that attack me. I really don't care. But if you hate me because I make jokes that attack people, then go crazy. You're more than welcome to hate me. I don't care. I'm a person with different opinions than you. That's how humans work. That's how we operate as people. A lot of times, a lot of people on the left don't care about redemption. They only care about the erasure. There's no re-education of somebody. They only want to exile everybody. It builds not a community of people, but people are so scared of misrepresenting something, not stepping on the thing, walking on eggshells over and over again. That's my issue primarily with the left extremist. Only the extremist, not the entirety of the left. If I say something controversial or a little bit edgy, people misinterpret me 9 times out of 10, and it's so agitating. And then they deflect and say, well, I have autism and I have ADHD. Well, I don't pick up on social cues. When literally 3 minutes before, you were picking up on so many social cues and making wild assumptions, and it pisses me off to I'm getting angry again. I gotta calm down. I'm getting pissed. Mistaking the tearing down of a comrade for the building of a better world is disgusting. It's this justice social anxiety dream forever looping. That's the issue I have with the left. The right is worse, though. The right is worse. The right-wing extremists are worse. And they're not equal. They're not equal at all. Me critiquing a system doesn't mean I think both are bad. These are not equal, equivalent insanities. One seeks to erase the other seeks to erase the impure self. One is a bludgeon, the other is a scalpel turned inward, performing endless compulsive surgery to find and remove the contaminant. That's what it is. The result in both cases is a mountain of corpses. One literal, the other professional, social, spiritual. That's what it is. That's the difference between how I view it. That's what I see. And I'm not an enlightened centrist because of this. It's just me critiquing things. It's me looking at something objectively. That's what I'm doing. That's what it is. I'm not gonna leave the left because, oh, they were mean to me one day. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. That's stupid. I don't like any of you. I don't like a single person. You all suck. Realistically, you all suck, but by all means, the right over here, the right, they suck. What? They don't just suck, they're evil. It's the difference between actual good and evil, and the good people are a little bit too good and they care too much about keeping the dishes clean, and the right is like, I piss on my sinks. I don't want to eat piss dishes is what I don't want to do. I don't want to eat piss dish. I'd rather eat them from the place that at least cares about being morally pure in some capacity. At least they care about it, even if it is being a little performative. At least they care. That's where I'm at. But I'm still critiquing it because it pisses me off. Welcome to the real world. I can critique things and I can talk about things. I can have conversation. Did you know that? Go to hell. What makes this especially maddening is that neither of these extremes, neither right nor left, neither one actually represent most people. Not even a little bit. As a matter of fact, you're probably confused. You might be confused. If you're a regular person, you might be confused. Or you might understand and feel the same way I do. The extremists are loud, terminally online, and fueled by this outraged dopamine, which gives them endless time and energy to argue. They dominate feeds and comment sections. It's not like there's 1,000 billion million of them. No. They just never log off. Then you ever see one guy always in the comment section, always saying the same thing over and over again because he has nothing better to do? They have nothing better to do. Your silence from normal people gets mistaken for this communicative agreement. When you are very loud, you think, everybody must think like this because he's so passionate, so many of them. To be devoured by either madness of the right nor the left is to be devoured. If you listen to either extremist group, I'll give you a perfect example. Here goes my example. I have no real issue with neopronouns. When I say real issue, I mean I don't find them to be particularly prevalent. The amount of its, and zerzims, and bloop self and beep self you're gonna find on the internet, or fey and fey self, is infinitesimally small. You're not gonna find that many people. I still think it's stupid. Like, right? I just want to point that out. I still think it's dumb. Just think it's dumb, right? My opinion of yourself shouldn't matter. Full stop. My opinion on the idea of neopronouns shouldn't matter in any capacity. right? I think you can identify by whatever pronouns you wish to identify. If you are a man and wish to identify by she, her, 100% go crazy. If you are non-binary and want to use he, him pronouns, go crazy. I don't care. You're more than welcome to do whatever you want to. I think if you tell me with your whole chest, and I don't know you at all, and you say, well, you got to refer to me as it's. Okay, I will do my best, but I think it's goofy. You're more than welcome to do that. So you use those pronouns. I do use those pronouns, but not referring to people, maybe objects or animals or creatures. If you wish to be a creature, you're more than welcome to. I'm sure you want to be outside the gender spectrum and it makes you feel more accepted as a person, and I 100% understand your journey, and it's your own personal journey, and I fully grasp that. I'm just telling you, I think it's ridiculous. That's it. That's all I'm saying. That's it. I can understand the complexities, nuances, and the backgrounds of everything and still thinks it's psychotic. As a matter of fact, I understand the right. I understand why they hate everything. Because they're scared. They're scared little babies that are fearful of black people because they're scared of black excellence. They're scared of little babies because they're scared of gay people because, oh, they're going to turn my kids gay. They're not going to turn your kids gay, by the way. They're not going to turn your kids trans. That's insane. That's psychotic. I don't know why you're getting fear-mongered and hate-mongered into this mindset, but that you do you exist, you have your fun time. Somehow, the stupid little centrist thinks to themselves and says, wow, one person wants to kill people and the other one's just kind of upset. Man, these guys are exactly equal. That's stupid. That's dumb. I think that's dumb too. I think that's idiotic. I think the centrist is an idiot is what I think. But the grand magic trick behind this entire thing, the grand magic trick is that these two screaming vortices represent the whole of the human condition. That's not true. They do not. They are the 1%. They're literally the 1%. So I know that I'm stupid. I know that you're stupid too. We're all stupid. It's fine. I like being stupid. You're with me, right? We're all dummies. We're good. We're dummies, right? Let's actually do math because numbers matter here. The United States has roughly 335 million people. So we got 1% of that is about 3.35 million. Boom. That is a small fraction of the country, yet it is still millions of voices yelling at once. When you see millions of people arguing online, it feels like everyone is insane. Well, a million people, this post got 1 million likes. Obviously, if 1 million people think this, everybody must think this, right? It's 1 million. No, humans have a very horrible time picking out big numbers. We are horrible at it. We are the worst when it comes to getting a big number. We are the worst when it comes to seeing a big number and understanding what it means. We don't grasp it. The difference between 1 million and 1 billion, it would take me, maybe a week to count to 1 million. And it would take me, actually, it would take me 28 hours to count to 1 million. It would take me 10 years to count to 1 billion. That's the difference. That's the difference. I want to point that out. That's big numbers. So 335 million to 3.35 million is an insane. I'll use smaller numbers to make it easier. If I had $1 million and I gave you $200,000, that would be the same as me having $1,000 and giving you $200. It wouldn't be that much. I still have $800 left. You understand what I'm saying? So 335 million people and 3.35 million. That's as if I had $10 and I gave you 50 cents. That makes sense? Let me say that better. As if I had $10 and I gave you a penny. I still have $9.99. I basically gave you nothing. So that's the percent of people that you're arguing with. Understand it? Perception collapses under scale. It's a big reason why it's so hard to conceptualize eldritch entities and H.P. Lovecraft things such as Cthulhu and Cthulhu and Azathoth and Shub-Niggurath is things of that variety. They're very difficult to do so. So social media in totality was not designed to reflect reality. I don't know if you know that. It was designed to amplify conflict. The angriest 1% generates the most engagement, and engagement gets rewarded with visibility. Well, where are the rest? Well, that's probably you trying to make a video, huh? The silent, vast, unsexy expanse of the real. You know what they're doing? You know what the regular person is doing? They're driving to jobs that hollow them out. They're sitting in hospital rooms. They are trying to figure out how to pay for a tooth. They are loving their difficult families. They are too exhausted for the labor of survival to don the ceremonial armor and wage the 24/7 holy war on the field demands of the feed. That's what they're doing. They're doing actual human garbage. That's what's happening. So when you get mad at the regular person for saying, oh, why we should have many more allies, you probably do, but they're not as insane and extreme as the people you're seeing argue and writing those paragraphs out, and the paragraphs that you repost and share and comment under and say, I agree with this take. This person actually said what I needed to say, and I appreciate that because they're saying what I thought in my brain, but I couldn't put into words. Those people that spend all the time, those are the ones that are insane about this whole thing. They're crazy. Back when I used to have a job besides YouTube, because this is my main gig now, back when I used to have a job, I used to be confused about why you guys would argue so much. Because I would go to work at Amazon 10 hours a day, and then I would come back and I would not have the energy. I would spend time with my wife, or I'd spend time trying to clean my room. I'd spend time figuring out my finances. I had time to work out. I would just watch maybe a YouTube video, maybe something on Hulu, or maybe go to bed in totality with nothing in this background, because that's what it is. That's the normal person. That's what it is. Their absence is the vacuum into which the screaming rushes. Normal people working jobs, raising kids, dealing with health problems, and trying to sustain do not have the time or desire to perform ideological combat all day. Right? There's so many people that will comment on every one of my videos, and I'm a normal person for the most part. I don't go all day and argue with people about every single issue. Even now that I can stay on the internet all day, I still choose to go outside. There were people who say, you didn't argue with me in the comment section of your YouTube video. You suck. Are you crazy? Are you insane? I have schizoaffective disorder and you're more schizophrenic than me. That's crazy. I am diagnosed schizoaffective and you're more schizophrenic than me. Why do you think I would ever read your comment? Do you think I'm reading these? You're crazy. That's nuts. Even if I didn't read, I'm not going to reply to it. What? That's crazy. I'm not going to do that. That's crazy. You want me to continue? You want to get validation from me? That's insane. I'm not giving you validation. Go rot. Go. You have as much brain as you have earwax. Your opinion matters as much to me as if you were to dust up a little bit of dust and take some tweezers and grab that little bit of dust and look at it under a microscope. That is the scale at which your opinion matters to me. You tardigrade, water bear, sultry scalites. You are a pissant in the grand scheme of things. I'm not going to argue with you. Rot. The truth is that most people are complicated. They're inconsistent, tired, and trying to be decent, just simply decent in this stupid system that profits from keeping them divided. Extremists on both sides thrive by convincing you that everyone else is just like them, that the country is irreparably broken into two screaming camps. Just two. And if you're not on either side, you're worse than both, because you're a worthless centrist. And by the way, you are a worthless centrist, mind you. But people think there's only two. Good, evil. And when you're on one side, the other side will convince the other side is evil. I'm pretty sure the Autobots think all the Decepticons are evil. I'm pretty sure there's like one good Decepticon. But you're probably thinking to yourself, oh no, there's no good Decepticons. There are good Decepticons, actually. It's kind of a premise of one of the animated TV shows. There are good Decepticons. That's the entire thing. That's why you have turncoats and certain things. They understand their side may be losing. That's what happens. That's the real world. But there's not two sides to every issue. Oh my God. Everybody thinks there's just two answers to every solution. I'll give you a perfect example. Let's do this really simply. Let's do 2 plus 2, right? How do you get 2 plus 2? What's the answer? 4? How do you get to 4? You do 1 plus 3. You can do 0 plus 4. I've introduced a third option. As a matter of fact, you can do 6 minus 2. You can do 7 minus 3. I'm doing crazy math on you right now. 8 minus 4, you still get to 4. 10 minus 6, you still get to 4. Oh, this is interesting, isn't it? There's a bunch of solutions to one thing to get to the same outcome, isn't it? There's a bunch of solutions, right? Oh, wait a second. I'll do something crazy. 2.5 plus 1.5. Oh, you didn't even consider the 0.5s. Infinite amount of decibels in between those. There's actually an infinite number of sides and an infinite number of solutions because we're all below the top. We're all below the top. We're all below the 1%. The 0.1% actually. We're all below the most richest people. So all of us collectively should join together and take out the top is what we should do. But we're so busy fiending for scraps and eating chitlins and pig garbage and nonsense. We can't even do that. We don't have the ability to do that. We don't got the power to do that because we're so stupid. We're just stupid. We traded the third pounder burger, which was a bigger burger, the third pounder burger from A&W, failed because people thought a quarter, 1/4, people thought a quarter pounder was bigger. You're stupid. Oh my God, what stupid people you are. The lie that we're divided keeps people screaming, scared, isolated, and easier to control. the reality is really quiet. It's super quiet. It's messier and far more human. I live on the east side of Detroit, and if you don't know what that means, it means I live in the hood. I live in East Shore right now. I know I don't look like it. This is basically an attic. I live in the east side, and it's horrifying over here. If you're stupid, nobody here does much. It's just black people, but a lot of people are scared of black people, so I can understand why you're horrified. People are more human than you think. And it is exactly that humanity that gets erased when the loudest 1% is allowed to define the whole. Define the whole. Every word I speak, I mess up. These braces are killing me. You can't tell I got Invisalign in my mouth and it hurts like crazy. By goodness, bisexual Jesus. Anyways, if you're pissed, comment down below. If you understand, comment down below. If you just don't care and think I'll never be friends with somebody on the right, or I'll never be friends with somebody on the left, or I'm an enlightened centrist myself and you just want to go crazy and say that, go ahead. Take your time. I'm just one guy on the internet that is pissed, like violently angry at a lot of you, and I would immediately go sicko mode if I saw you in person if you spoke to me the way you do online, and I want to point that out. I would wreck shop. Anyways, after threatening you, would you like to support my Patreon? It's $1 a month, and it gives general support to me. It inspires me to make more videos such as this. I release 1 or 2 videos every single day, and it does help support, and I have 200,000 of you guys, and if I could get 1% of you guys, I would be able to sustain my style of living. It would be lovely. But if not, that's quite all right. Have a lovely day or night wherever you're at. I'm out. Peace. Bye.
I'm your Nick and night, be my Laurel. Happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. I love the ride when you're free.